Good afternoon, everyone. What an amazing summit it's been. I have enjoyed everyone's videos and I'm so excited for the launch of the Celestia magazine. So my name's Janisha. I am a vegan bridal makeup artist. I've been in the industry for 10 years, so I mainly work within the wedding industry, but my passion is talking about vegan beauty, sustainable beauty, and how we can create a better world for the generations to come by habits that we can implement in our lives now. So I'll tell you about how my journey started. So I became a makeup artist in 2010. It was a passion from day one. I wanted to go to university and do it, and then hopefully go into film, and that didn't happen. So mainly because my parents were like, well, that's not a proper degree. So I went off to university, I did psychology, and then when I left, I think they just saw that I wasn't really passionate about it. And then I went off and did a course, and then just started working, doing clients on the side. I worked at Bobbi Brown as well, and then at Avon area manager, which, you know, all of those jobs have really helped me build my business, and also Blooms by Vanita. So in 2017, my sister, she's younger than me, there's three of us. So the youngest one, she'd watched a documentary on Netflix. I can't remember the name, I think Cowspiracy possibly. And the next day she shared how she felt about it. She was quite upset and she was like, that's it, I'm going vegan overnight. And we're already a vegetarian family, so we heavily kind of relied on dairy products. So it was a bit of a shock. But anyway, she stuck with it, and it made me think about what I was putting on my skin and my client's skin. I didn't think about diet straight away. I am vegan now, so it's kind of happened gradually, but I thought about what products are going on my clients' faces. So I started doing some research and found out that so many products are tested on animals, and I've always felt that beauty is a luxury, maybe apart from, like, say, our moisturiser and SPF and lip balm. Yeah, so I felt like beauty is a luxury and it's not a necessity, and sometimes I feel like we treat it like that. So I started researching brands that didn't test on animals, and back then it was a little bit difficult. So, you know, now you can go onto a website landing page for a brand and they'll have vegan, cruelty-free, paraben-free, you know, all the things that they want to push are at the top banner. Whereas when I started in 2017, it was I'd have to email them, I'd have to try and get in contact with someone, and then if I did, they'd either completely ignore the question whether they are cruelty-free or not, because they probably do test on animals, or they'd come back with like quite a flowery answer that they essentially don't like to, but they may have to. So I was like, okay, that's not a straight answer. So the way I figured it out is any beauty products that are sold in China are tested on animals. So that actually got rid of so many, like MAC, Bobbi Brown, Estee Lauder. NARS was one that used to be cruelty-free and wasn't. So I started trialing products and then put together a kit for myself first, and then I put together a bridal kit that I was happy with the quality of products. And obviously shade range for you know, South Asian women is such a big ask sometimes, which is such a shame. But finding a company that had the right shade range for my clients and for myself, I never wanted to feel like I wasn't putting the right shade on, because, you know, I feel it's so important to be true to your shade, your skin tone. So finding all of those kind of, you know, tick boxes was really important for me. And because it's my, not just a passion, but also my business, you know, all the products had to be reliable and work for me. And I do international weddings, so I needed them to work really well for me in the heat as well. So it took about a year for me to switch over to a cruelty-free kit, and obviously, was I going to stop there? Of course I wasn't. So when I was doing research about the products, I had done a little bit of reading on the ingredients, and some of the things that were in the products, I was like, this is so strange. Why? Forget why. How did anyone ever think, oh, let me just use a bit of that? So I do lash lifts, just an example. I do lash lifts, and the treatment is completely vegan that I use on my clients. But the treatment that I used to use prior to that wasn't vegan. So I got in touch with the company and I said, you know, do you have a deadline that you're going to go vegan by? Is that something you're looking to do? And also, can you let me know what ingredients is in your product that doesn't make it vegan? So they said, yeah, we're looking to change it. They haven't yet, which is a shame. And I asked them 2 years ago, nearly 3 years ago actually. And the ingredients that they have is the fat from, I think it's sheep's wool or something. And I just thought, how did anyone ever figure that out? Anyway, so there's all sorts of random stuff in the products, you know, not only skincare, your hair care, and your makeup as well. So, hi Nasira, hi Tina. Oh, we have got some comments. So I started looking at ingredients and understanding what was in them, and because I was vegetarian going vegan, I thought, well, you know, it doesn't make sense that I don't want to put it in my body. Why would I want to put it on my body? So it all kind of started with thinking about me rather than thinking about the effect that it has on the environment, and then that kind of snowballed. And now if I buy something, or if we're going to do something, or anything, my first thought is, what is this going to do to the environment? Because I think sometimes we forget, we think about ourselves, we might think about the next generation, our children, and we forget to think about actually 3 or 4 generations down, what kind of world are we leaving for them? So I think it's important to find something that you're passionate about and just gradually change over. So I'm going to go over some easy steps for you that will make the transition easy. Just going to check comments. Oh, hi Shanaz and Nasira, Sonia, hello. Tina, hi. Any questions, let me know. So let's see, I've got a little list going here. Okay, so I've got a hot water bottle as well, just because it helps. So let's talk about cruelty free. So I'm going to show you some logos on these products. Okay, so the easiest way to figure it out is by looking for logos. So that's the cruelty free logo. They don't always look like this. This is the leaping bunny, and you can look for the vegan logo like that as well on your product. So I'll show you on another one which is slightly different. I thought I'd taken 3 out. No. Oh, there it is. This one is slightly different, but it says it's cruelty-free and vegan on this. So your packaging will generally tell you if it's been tested on animals or not. So that's kind of your easiest way, or look at the website landing page as well. Obviously, all your vegan-based products are plant-based, which is amazing. Plants, you know, grow much quicker. They take up less resources. It doesn't necessarily mean the product is going to be natural, but it just means that no animals have been harmed, or there's no extract from animals been taken and popped into the makeup product, which I think is highly unnecessary. Sustainable beauty is a whole different topic as well, and it really depends how you look at sustainability. I think it's difficult to be 100% sustainable with the way we live. So I think that's why I started off with makeup, and then I've started looking at different aspects of life. But I think if you try and do it all in one go, it's so difficult. So just take it step by step. So with sustainable beauty, you could look at the ingredients, obviously. So you could look at ingredients that are locally sourced. You could look at the way the workers are paid or looked after by the company. You could look at the carbon footprint of the product. You know, are you having it shipped in from America, but it's actually made in Mexico, and then you're having it shipped to UK? Or is it something that is locally grown, locally manufactured and formulated, locally packaged, and then sent to you, you know, and you're not very far, or you're within the same country, which is quite important. So I try and do some of that as well. Your packaging you can look at for sustainability. Is it something that can be recycled very easily? Is it something that can be reused? Is it something that can't be recycled? And it's such a shame, actually, so many of our makeup and lipstick products, our foundation bottles, can't actually be recycled because of the size of them, or the colour of the packaging, or the mix of the plastics in them. So sometimes you do need to really think about what you're using. So I've tried to move everything, not everything, but I'm slowly trying to get everything into zero waste products or package free products, and it's nice to see so many companies are now working their way to do this as well. So if you have any favorite brands, or you have any questions about if a brand is cruelty free or vegan, you can pop it in the comments box. And if you have some favorite brands, I'd love to know, because there are so many now, especially lots of indie brands, so it is difficult to know about all of them. So I've showed you the logos. You can also look on the website for FAQs. They usually, if they're not a completely vegan company, but they are cruelty free and they frequently ask questions, they will always put down that, you know, our mascara is vegan and our foundation and our concealer is vegan. However, our lipstick is not vegan in these shades. So sometimes in a red lipstick, you can have an ingredient called carmine, which is taken from beetles, cochineal, I think they're called. They are boiled and then they are crushed, and the red comes out of the shells, and then that is powdered and put into our lipsticks. So when you use a MAC lipstick, it will most likely have that in there because they don't have vegan products. I've completely stopped using them. Didn't have stopped using them since about 3 years, so I'm not sure if they have anything vegan, but they're definitely not cruelty free. So it's one company to stay away from, which is a shame. You can email them, or you can just check if they sell in China. That's one of the easiest ways to do it. And obviously read blogs and reviews and stuff as well. That really helps. And you want to kind of not get caught out by vegan washing or greenwashing of products or companies. So Garnier recently turned vegan as the brand, so which is absolutely fantastic news. Sorry, not vegan, they turned cruelty free. They never used to be. However, they used to advertise some of their products on TV as vegan, which was really irritating because they were making out as if they were completely like eco-friendly brand. But the fact that they still tested on animals and sold in China was, you know, it's a really easy kind of switch to make. So you can get companies who kind of say, oh, we're vegan, but actually there are other things that they are doing, such as testing on animals, which means that they're not really there. So Tina says it's also the same ingredient in M&Ms. Oh my God, which is frustrating as they are vegetarian abroad. So I didn't know that. I don't eat M&Ms anyway because of the chocolate. But I didn't realise that they used that in the shell, I'm assuming. Oh, what a shame. And I think it just for me, I think if a company can do it abroad, then why can't they just do it here? Like, just make the switch, because essentially we're helping create a better future for the next generations to come. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense. The other question that I get a lot is about toxic-free beauty. This one I'm a bit like, I'm not sure. I think it's good to go for natural if you can, but that doesn't mean synthetic isn't good, okay? Toxic-free, I just think it's a very widely used term, and the minute we hear toxins or toxic, we kind of run away from it, right? Anything can be toxic, and it just depends on the balance or the amount. So imagine if you just drank lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of water, that would not be good for us. But that doesn't mean water isn't good for us. It's very good for us. But obviously if you overdo it, then it's no good. And also the other one is chemical free. Well, actually water is a chemical, everything's a chemical. So try and look out for brands that are doing that, because they're not marketing what they do have, which is good in their product. Rather, they're trying to kind of say what they don't have, or just mis-selling. It's just all marketing, it gets very out of hand. Even natural, a lot of people can say it's natural, but it doesn't mean that it's 100% natural. It only needs to be a certain percentage to be passed as natural. I am trying to use more natural stuff, but it works for me and it doesn't work for everyone. So you just have to decide what you're going to go for. You know, if you're starting off cruelty-free and vegan is the best way. So why is it important to make a change? I'm going to hold this up. The beauty industry is huge and it makes a massive turnover of money. You know, if you think about it, even if you don't wear makeup, you will have skincare products, you will have hair care, you will have body care. It's literally just around us. And now with things like social media and influencers, no shame, I love creating content and recommending as well. However, sometimes it can get a little bit confusing as a spectator because if someone recommends a product, you can't always tell how long they've been using it, and that's something I try and do. I'll trial something for a good 3 to 4 weeks so that I know that it actually works for me, rather than kind of just posting about it. It's you can really get stuck in that, especially with like marketing, the way the packaging is, you know, all of that can like really lure us in. So the choices that we make now, every single choice, you know, where we spend our money, what we're buying, how we're recycling it or reducing it or discarding it, is going to have an effect somewhere along the line. I feel like before I used to just put things in the bin and then forget about it and just thought it's okay, it just goes somewhere. And then when I started doing research, I was like, oh my God, no, it's my responsibility to make sure that I only put things in the bin that need to go in the bin because they haven't got anywhere else to go as yet. But what I try and do now is just not buy at all. So with, say, I just recently bought deodorant and I don't kind of bulk buy anymore because it leads to a waste of money, which is waste of resources, waste of product. So I make a list and I start doing research on different types, and I think about what I want my product to be. So I've been using natural deodorants for about 2 years, and it's been a journey. You know, some of them don't work, some of them do. Different products work for different people. The one that I'm using at the minute is just fantastic. I'm loving it. It's called Aroma Co from Lush. So all the other, for the past 2 years, I've been using products which are natural and they're cruelty-free and vegan, which was obviously an absolute must. And then I switched to products that were cruelty-free, vegan, and natural, but I wasn't too bothered about the packaging at that point because for me, it was just important to get to cruelty-free and vegan. And now I got to the point where I was like, okay, no, I only want to buy things that are in eco packaging or something that's easily recyclable. So glass is easily recyclable, aluminium, or like wrapped in like cardboard, which is obviously you can just pop it in the recycling bin. And then, so I kind of did my bit with those, used the natural Deo Co. They have gorgeous ones and you kind of scoop it on and put it on with your hands, which was lovely. So I've been through quite a few, and then this time I thought, no, I have to get package free. And I will do my research, and that's how I came across the ones at Lush. And just took a plunge, bought one of them, hadn't really seen any reviews, but gosh, that Aroma Co is just beautiful and it works so well, and my pits smell great all day long. So if you need a natural deodorant, or any deodorant, honestly switch to that one. It's working really well. Give it a couple of days, because I found on the first few days it did feel a little bit moist, but now completely dry for the whole day. And I do a lot of reviews on my Instagram, so if you like that kind of thing, then jump onto Instagram. I also do makeup lessons, virtual ones, via Zoom, to help you learn how to apply makeup for yourself, get the right products, and obviously they're all cruelty-free and vegan. And you know, it's not just about wearing makeup for an event. You know, so many of us are face-to-face, whether it's virtually or hopefully it won't be so much longer. You know, the way we present ourselves is very important, and first impressions are everything. So I do lessons one-to-one to help you formulate a way that works for you, because makeup is not about just slapping it on. I think it definitely has to uplift you at the same time. We are off track, so let's get back on track. So beauty is a luxury, and that is why I think we need to start thinking about making a change, and just think about the generations to come. I think when we put it like that, it's kind of like we put together savings, right? And we're always thinking, okay, if I save this much, I can get this done. If I save this much, I can pass it on to my children. And essentially the environment is exactly the same. We have to think, how much of it are we saving so that we can pass that on down the generations. It's an investment. That's the way we need to think about it, and it's very important to do so. Okay, so apart from the resources and the time and the finances, also plastic waste is one of the biggest wastes of the makeup industry, and skincare as well. So try go package free or something that's recyclable, which is so much better. And if when you use it, you don't feel like, oh, I'm putting it into the bin after it's still got a little bit of life to be remade again, the packaging. So that's always good. So let me just check the comments. Okay, we're good. Right, so when and how to start. I've put a list together, so I'm going to read it out to you. best time to start is now. Really, I think if I found out about this earlier, I would have definitely started earlier, and the change that I would have been able to make would have been, you know, better, it would have been great. But today is always the best day to start, okay? Not tomorrow, not a week later, just start today. So I've kind of broken it down so that, you know, it's taken me a year at a time to change from cruelty free and then change to a completely vegan kit. So I'm going to give you some pointers so that you can start now, and hopefully it'll make it easy and the trial and error, you know, won't be there so much. So you want to start by just buying cruelty free and vegan straight away, okay? That is your makeup, your beauty, your skincare, your hair care, your body care, all of it. There is so much more around now. So brands like the good thing is there's a wide range of products that you can go for. If you want something budget, there's budget items. If you want something a bit more high end, there's, you know, fantastic companies. So Superdrug, for your budget stuff, their own brand is completely cruelty free and vegan. Some of it is plastic packaged, but you can check if it can be recycled. But if you do want budget, it's a great place to go. If you want high end, for makeup, Hourglass, Cover FX, Tarte, what else? Kat Von D, Beauty, Illamasqua, they're cruelty free and have some vegan products as well. So there's some fantastic brands out there that you can just shift to. If you use any of them, let me know. I can't really name them all the top of my head. There are so many, but that I do put bits up on Instagram. So that's the first thing, buy cruelty free and vegan. After that, what you can do as an exercise is just get all of your items out. If you've watched Marie Kondo, it's basically that. Get out all of your skincare, your hair care, everything in one room. Put it on your bed, all in front of you, so you can see exactly how much you have. That is your unopened and your opened, and bits that you're using right now, bits that you've forgotten about, just to take in how much you have. You know, makeup and skincare and stuff is quite expensive as well. So if you try and think of it in that way, and think of, are you going to be able to use it all in time? Because everything has a use by date. It's on the packaging, so always check that and try and use products once you open them and commit to it. So I have a small makeup bag which has what I need for my everyday essentials, and then my skincare is just a small drawer, and I can pull it out and I can see everything in there, and I stick to that skincare routine until the product's finished, so that I can actually see if it has an effect on my skin, and then I can replace it with something else. Yeah. Only buy products when you need to replenish them. That's really important. I think it's so easy, especially with our phones. Like sometimes I can be scrolling, an ad will come up, or someone will message me about a product, and then, you know, you get stuck in that black hole of looking at the website, and then you get off it because you're like, I don't need that, and then you go on to something else, and then an ad comes up, and then it's the same product, and you're like, oh, I'll just get it now. And that happens so many times. So I think it's trying to not fall into that black hole in the first place. Only buy exactly what you need. And what I do for that is I create a list. So when I'm coming to the end of something, I'll pop it on my list, and it will be on that list until I find something, but it'll remind me that that's what I need to buy. And I'll leave it on there because sometimes I find I don't actually need that product. Like I might see a lipstick and I might actually have 5 exactly the same shades, because generally we are attracted to very similar products, very similar colours, or consistencies as well. So sometimes we might actually have what we already need at home, and all the marketing and stuff kind of lures us in and think, you know, you feel like, oh, I need to get that. So try and stay away from that. Anything that is out of date or you've had for quite a long time, get rid of it. So your mascaras are 6 months, your lipsticks, anything creamy about 12 months, your foundations usually 24, your powders, they can be cleaned, but you know, if you've had it for 5 years, it's time to say goodbye. So you want to get rid of that. If you can recycle it, that's great. I think also Boots have they have a recycling scheme now, and I think maybe Look Fantastic do as well, where they'll take empty products back from you and they'll recycle them through their system, which is fantastic for all the plastic that, you know, can't go into the recycling bin. So that's another thing you can do. Only open products when you're ready to use them. Hi Sunita. Only use products when you're ready to use them, because what will happen, you'll have one serum and then you'll buy a new serum and you'll just be like, oh, I'll just use it today and see how it goes, and then you'll forget about the other one, and then that keeps happening, and we just accumulate so much stuff. We don't need to, you know, just use what you can, finish it, and then buy something else. Choose plastic free and zero waste products. These are great. Lush do loads of plastic free and zero waste ones now, and actually shampoo bars, people get a bit like funny about them, and I'm using one at the minute from Lush. It's fantastic, and what I've done this time, rather than using the whole bar, I chop it up into little bits and then pop it into one of my empty glass jars in my bathroom, and I'll just take a little bit out and then use it, and then once it's dry I pop it back in, or I keep it in a separate container in the shower. And that's actually been used, like that's been much easier for me to use rather than using the whole bar all in one go, which I tried a few years back and I was like, I can't do this, just going back to the bottle. But you could try that, it does work for me. Make a wish list, which we've talked about, and with that, you know, have a read of blogs and reviews. If someone's recommended it if an influencer recommended it, feel free to drop them a message, because they'll be hopefully be okay to kind of honestly say how they feel about the product. But don't fall into the trap of, if you follow a certain influencer, their skin type might not be the same, their hair type might not be the same, so don't always feel like, oh, because they're recommending everything, I should buy all those things. You really should check if they're going to work for you. So if I see something and I like it, I'm like, okay, check the reviews, go online, and you know, you have the product reviews underneath. Have a look through them as well, because they'll just be normal people who have used the product and either really liked it or not. And if it's a skincare company, they will, they tend to put the age or the age bracket and also their skin type, which is really useful. So you want to try and find people who are similar to you. And if you are following influencers, try and follow ones that are similar to you. So mine, obviously, darker skin tone, so I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum to usual Gujaratis, which are a little bit fairer. So darker skin tone, and my skin type is dry to normal. It does change through the seasons, and obviously curly hair is something that I love talking about as well. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, I've popped it in the title of the video. And then once you have sorted your skincare and your beauty, just make a conscious effort to keep up with keeping it quite minimalist. No one needs a makeup kit as big as a professional makeup kit, and even then my professional makeup kit is not as big as other makeup artists, just because I don't like having a heavy one, and I like multi-use products, so you could do that within your makeup kit too. You look for multi-use products which will work in different ways for you, and it just means you don't have to have as much or spend as much money as well. So once you've done your beauty side of life, then you could move on to the cleaning products you're using. So all of mine are now natural, and they're not completely plastic free, but I do try and use like things that I can just make at home as well. And I use a lot of cleaning cloths, no more wipes at all, no wipes in any form in my house, because you don't need them. Okay, we have cleaning cloths that can just go into the washing machine, same as your face cloths as well. So you could look at that, and then you could look at your diet if you wanted. You could look at your clothing, where that's coming from, and find sustainability through that. Your accessories, your jewelry, it is absolutely endless where you can start. So easiest way is just to work through bits in sections, and I hope that the list has made it a little bit easier, and obviously you can apply that to anything really. So that brings me to the end. I thank you to Bhavna and Sonia for inviting me on to share my passion, and I hope that there's at least one thing in my talk that you can take away and implement in your life. Have a fantastic day, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.